Adjustment to retained earnings. Retained earnings is the accumulated total of history-to-date net income and losses. Therefore, the retained earnings is a rolling balance which equals beginning retained earnings plus current period profit. The current period profit is fed by the net income or losses from the income statement and appears on the balance sheet. During a financial audit, your auditor may ask you to make audit adjustments into retained earnings. However, if you make the journal entry adjustments directly in retained earnings in your accounting system, the retained earnings balance will not be correctly represented when you import the accounting general ledger into BudgetEngine. This video will explain the details of the problem and show you how to avoid it. Let's take a closer look at this problem using the following example. Your auditor wants to make a $50,000 adjustment to retained earnings on the balance sheet. You make the journal entry to retained earnings in the accounting system, and then you upload the general ledger data into BudgetEngine. However, when you perform the function Update Budget with Actual, the balance validation fails. BudgetEngine manages retained earnings only through the input of net income or losses on the income statement. BudgetEngine does not recognize adjustments made directly to retained earnings in the accounting system. To avoid this problem, you have two different options to correctly make adjustments to retained earnings in BudgetEngine. Method 1. Make a journal entry directly to income and expenses. Make adjustments to retained earnings directly on income and expense accounts. Then, the income and expense account adjustments will flow to net income or losses on the income statement, which in turn flow to the current period profit on the balance sheet. The retained earnings balance in BudgetEngine will then be correct. Method 2. Make a new journal entry in the chart of accounts for adjustment to retained earnings. Create new entries in the chart of accounts of both the accounting system and BudgetEngine for adjusting retained earnings. Assign the account type as equity. In the accounting system, make the journal entry for your auditing adjustment to retained earnings. When you import the accounting general ledger into BudgetEngine, map the new adjustment account from the accounting system, in this example named Adjustment to Retained Earnings, to its partner account you also created in BudgetEngine. When you do this, the retained earnings adjustment will correctly appear in the BudgetEngine account. Then, when you run the function Update Budget with Actual, the balance validation will pass. Under the Equity section of the balance sheet, you will see a new line entry for the adjustment account you created, Retained Earnings Adjustment. Be sure to copy the formula from the period imported to subsequent months, so the balance of the account can be carried forward through future budgeting periods.